What's up, everybody? Adam Phillips here, feeling somewhat nostalgic and at the same time somewhat confused about what to make for dinner tonight. Can't eat out all the time. Even if you have money, it is not a good idea to eat out all the time. So I was thinking, what was one of the meals that some of us grew up having for dinner if the family was, shall we say, economically challenged? I think the first one that comes to mind for a lot of people would have to be, oh my goodness, Franks and beans. Can anything top Franks and beans? You know you were broke if you had Franks and beans. That was the quintessential broke person's dinner. If you were lucky, you had a piece of salt pork to put in there. If you were lucky, you also had some bread to take and dip into the Frank and bean sauce so that you could literally stretch it. That is the number one broke person's dinner, economically challenged dinner from back in the heyday. It would have to be Franks and beans. Number two, something called Spam. Now, all of us are familiar with Spam, not the stuff that's on the computer. I'm talking about the stuff that was in mom's frying pan back in the 70s or 80s. And I always really tried to break down what the heck is Spam. You got to figure the am part definitely has something to do with ham. Probably. Maybe. But what the freak was the part? I am 52 years old. I don't know what the part of Spam is. I ask these questions now at 52. Was I asking these questions back in 1975? Nope. It came on the plate. It tasted good. If we lucky, we had some silver cup or some tasty bread to go with it. And of course, black folks wine, aka Kool-Aid. Don't act like I'm the only one in this entire Facebook world that would combine Spam with Kool-Aid, because the two of them definitely went together very well. Another thing that we used to have back in the day if we were broke for dinner, bologna sandwiches. Oh, I'm sorry. I left out the key word. Fried bologna sandwiches. That was definitely a staple back in the day. Fried bologna sandwiches, and it bubbles up and off the end, and it would come nice together, and you had that bread, you was good to go. Who can forget the classic, cliche, broke person's dinner or lunch back in the day? Government cheese. Oh, we all had the government cheese, the big thing that looked like a big brick. It was yay long. It had the blue writing on it, and your churches would give it out. I remember my church would give it out. It was Macedonia Church, Flushing, New York. You would get that all-purpose government cheese, and you had the best macaroni and cheese. You had the best grilled cheese, which accompanied the spam. You had the best anything. That cheese was so multi-purpose. You could freeze it and you could crack it up and it would break into several pieces like it was a Charleston chew. That is how effective the government cheese was from back in the day. Black folk did not complain about being constipated. We did not care because the government cheese really held us down. Along with the Spam, like I said, you was good to go. Those are, I think, the most quintessential broke person's dinners. People make fun of TV dinners, but let me tell you, TV dinners back in the day were pretty good. And they weren't that cheap either. I don't care if they were Swanson or Banquet. They would hold you down. Only problem with TV dinners, just like chicken pot pies, those suckers took like 45 minutes to 50 minutes to cook. You would put them in the oven, and that was the longest 45 minutes of your life. Because at about the 30-minute mark, you start smelling it, and it gets good, and you over there hungry. And I'm telling you, okay, I'm back. Where was I? TV dinners would hold us down back in the day. So those are my favorite meals from back in the day that were really proving that we were economically challenged. But you know what? All that government cheese, all those TV dinners, all that Spam, all that fried bologna sandwiches, all those Franks and beans, to give us any malnourishment. We came out just fine. We was on a budget, but we came out just fine, even if you had to wash them down with quarter waters or Little Debbie cakes. Little Debbie Cake's been holding people down for a while. They have always been $1. She gets my utmost respect. I don't think she's little anymore, all those daggone sweets. That was Little Debbie in 1985. Right about now, she is Big Debbie, as in Big Deborah, as in Big Shirley. Those bad boys are still economically feasible. Little Debbie Cakes. That was good memories. I hope that it brought back some good memories for some of y'all. And I sincerely want to know, what was the last old school on a budget dinner that you guys had? I'm very curious. I remember back in the day when McDonald's was a luxury. Remember that? If your moms treated you to McDonald's, you was doing really well. Oh, forget about it. Nowadays, most of us try to avoid McDonald's. I'm a little skeptical about them myself, because a year ago, they had a sale, 50 chicken McNuggets for $10. Now, who in the heck is that daggone generous with chicken that they can give away 50 of them for $10? I mean, they taste good, I'm not going to lie, but after a while, you're sitting there with 3 or 4 other people, and each of you have like 4 or 5, maybe even 10 of them. You're like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want any more chicken McNuggets. That is quite enough. So that always made me a little bit leery. But I hope that I brought back some good memories. For those of you that remember Chicken Delight, that means you were really balling out of control because you had enough money to call up someone and pay them to bring chicken to your house. Don't cook tonight, order Chicken Delight. That also means y'all had enough money back in the days to afford Avon. Remember, Avon would come and knock on your door like it was all right. It was 3 people would always knock on your doggone door. Avon. If you had a newspaper delivered to your house, the paper boy would come and ring your bell. If it wasn't Avon or the paper boy, it was Jehovah's Witness. Very good memories from back in the day. This is Adam Phillips. Live, love, and laugh, and don't be ashamed of your old school economical dinners. Have a beautiful evening, everybody. Bye-bye. Bon appetit.